What's going on, everybody? Today, I'm going to walk you through on how to build your own fat loss plan from A to Z. So for those who know me, who've been following me on my Instagram at coach.hayward, you know that I've been on my personal shredding journey. So I bulked up over the last months and months I gained about 40 pounds or so. And now I'm shredding down. So I was 233. I'm already at 220 the last time I checked in, and that's about a month or so in. So 13 pounds in 1 month. And I didn't train harder. I actually trained less hard. And everything I did was very sustainable. Still ate out, still having cheat meals. I'm sharing it on my page to show you guys that you can have it all with the right control, the right strategy, the right goals and clarity, and a good why behind what you're doing. You can get there 100%, and it's all worth it. Like now at this point, it's crazy because when I was younger, it was not like this at all. It was not like this at all 10 years ago or so. I was the one with the horrible eating habits, and I hated my body. Now I feel in complete control. I'm the boss of my own body. I can decide when I want to create something or change something in my health, my body. And that feeling is like no other. And if I can help you guys get to that point, I mean, that's a win for me. And that's huge because this change is truly, truly incredible. So let's dive in here, y'all. All right, so I'm going to build this out literally A to Z with you as we go through this. So you can get a pen and paper and follow me as we go. By the way, if you do like this video, if this helps you on your weight loss and your fit journey, make sure you subscribe below and like this video so more people can have access to this. So I just broke it down to three main steps. We're going to figure out the caloric intake, the macros, the numbers behind actually getting the results. This is needed. And then we're going to go over the clear routine, the strategy, and then we're going to go over the committing and the expectations and the tools. Okay. So this works also for guys, girls, anyone, because to lose weight, we all must be in a caloric deficit, right? We all know that, yes, women's weight loss is definitely harder. I'm specifically focused on women majority of the time, like 95% of the time plus. So yes, you have different obstacles and everything, but this works for everybody. This works for everybody. Okay. So let's dive in. So the first step here is we got to figure out our caloric intake. So the easiest way that you can do this is you can take your current weight and then so let's say I was 230 pounds, right? So take my current weight, multiply that by, so I'm quite active. I work out every single day, but I also sit in an office for about 10 to 12 hours a day as well. So I'm very active as in I train every single day, but I don't get many steps in. So we'll say we'll times it by about 11. 12 is super, super active. So let's say if you're getting tremendous amount of steps, working out all the time, that's you. Medium active, we'll say, is 11, and then not active at all is just times your weight by 10. Okay, so current weight times 11 equals 2,530 calories per day. Okay, so that is my total calorie intake that I want to go with per day. So I would either set that up into a meal plan, or I would set that up into calorie counting, depending on what strategy I'm going to go with. So once I figure that out, then I would want to figure out like my protein, all my macros, right? So my protein, I'm going to go for 30% of total macros. And we can do the math later on that to figure it out, but I'll just put that for easy math right now. So my protein goal is going to be 30% of my total macros, because on this shred, my goal is drop 15 to 20 pounds plus and maintain as much muscle mass as possible. Get to about, we'll say about anywhere between 10 to 13% body fat. Okay, so that's my goal there. So therefore, I don't want to get from 230 to like 170 and then lose a bunch of muscle mass and then be, much smaller, but then super ripped. I would rather take it a little bit slower, get to drop out 15, 20 pounds plus, maybe 25 pounds or so, get to around 205, 210, and then maintain that, but have that shredded look. That's my goal personally. Okay, so this is how I'm doing this, guys. The first thing is we got to figure out our calorie intake and our macros, right? Depending on your goals. So if you're just starting on your weight loss journey, if you're focused on just losing weight right now, make your protein intake around 25% of your total macros, okay? So that would be your goal. And then if you're trying to figure out your weight loss, do the same formula I did. Take your current weight in pounds, multiply it by 10, 11, or 12, and that's what you're going to go off for an estimate per day for calorie intake, okay? So The next thing here is you got to have your goals. You got to have your goals and why this is important to you, right? Especially when you're starting the journey. At this point now, like with where I'm at, like I don't need a strong why because like this is just my identity now. It's what I do and who I am. But when you're starting out, it's important to have that strong why to help you push yourself to actually get started and do it. So that's the second one is clear goals, okay? Like what size you want to be, what weight. We want to be as clear and specific as possible, right? How do you want to feel? What to get rid of? What do you want? You got to get very clear on exactly what do you want to accomplish? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look like? Like, what does that look like for you personally? Okay. Once you get that goal, then why important? Because oftentimes we're always debating like, you know, what is this going to cost me to do rather than what is this going to get me? What value is this going to give me, right? Oh, I got to put this time into it. That's one mindset, but that's a mindset to failure, right? If we look at this as like what this is going to give to us, this is not a punishment. This is not a sacrifice. This is an investment into ourselves, right? And the best thing about this doesn't take a crazy amount of time at all. So that's the first steps. We got to go exactly what we want, where the vision is, what we want to accomplish, right? And then we got to set up our current macros, our calorie intake. So the next thing when it comes to routine strategy, when it comes to your routine strategy is you got to know yourself. So it's like, you know, how many meals a day, cheat meals, like when, plan, calorie counts. How do we want to go about this? So this is all about the strategy, about you, food control, low self-belief. So this is where we know ourselves, right? We got to know ourselves. We got to build up the roadmap, the strategy on how we're going to get to this goal and the expectations and just all those little things there, right? So let's say for me personally, I know that my body functions where I can easily fast in the morning and not have breakfast if I don't want to. I just got to get into that habit. So that's probably the easiest way for me to go because before I was eating about 3 to 4 meals a day to gain that 40 pounds that I did. So now if I want to lose the weight, one of the easiest ways to start cutting out those calories to get aligned with my goal is to cut meals out of my day. And as long as it's sustainable where I know I can keep full and I keep on track, well, then that's a very good strategy. But if I know personally, like I'm not going to take the time to make, you know, and eat 6, 7 meals a day just with my busy life, like I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go with that strategy. And also science shows that it doesn't play any difference too when it comes to metabolism, nothing like that. So 2 meals a day with snacks is what I'm doing. Okay. So therefore I need 2 huge meals plus little snacks to hit goal. Now, I like to have a cheat meal every weekend. So with my girlfriend or my friends, I usually like to go out and I have a cheat meal, like a burger or some, steak sandwich, something like that. So I want to keep doing that, and I can align that with my goals. So how I'm going to do that is cheat meal on weekends. And let's say I'm not going to hold myself back. So I'm going to really enjoy my weekend. I'm going to have a big cheat meal. Therefore, I would need to have less calories than daily goal during week to make room for weekend cheat meal plus more protein during week and less carbs to align macros, right? Because if I'm having, let's say I'm supposed to have like 2,500 calories a day, but if I have 2,300 calories a day from Monday to Friday, I'm cutting out that extra 200 times 5, I'll have an extra 1,000. So then when the weekend comes around, I have an extra 1,000 calories that I can play around with on top of my normal meals. So therefore, I don't have to stress and feel bad or guilty if I do slip up or if I have that cheat meal because it's all aligned with my strategy, my routine, like my plan, right? So that's what I would do there. And that's kind of how my setup's going to look. So then I would have to get specific though, right? With the routine from wake into sleep. So it's like wake, if you wake at, let's say 7 a.m., and then if you go to bed around, let's say, 1 second here, you go to sleep at, let's say, 11 p.m., for example, then we already know now that we do not want to eat. So no food past 9 p.m. But actually, let's take a step farther and let's do 8 p.m., make it easier on ourselves so we can sleep better. 3 hours before bed, right? 8, so 9, 10, 11 p.m. So no food past 8 p.m. Perfect. Okay, now we got to know when are we going to work out as well, right? So this is another piece inside the puzzle when it comes to our routines in our strategy. So workout commit. So what are you going to commit to working out? If you're just a beginner, if you're on your own, if you don't have a coach, you don't have a support system, you're literally just like in a very, very, very big rut. Don't stress about that too much. Work on maybe getting some steps in. Work with yourself. Don't do anything that's 110% of what you're capable of doing. Just do about 80% so you can stay consistent and then build it up, make it just normal, and then add more as you go. Right. So if that's 1 time a week to work out, if that's 2 times, that 3 times. Work with what you can do and actually sustain for the next at least 3, 5, 6+ months. Okay. And then you will build off that. Okay. So for me personally, I can work out every day. Like I just built up the capacity to do that. So my workouts, typically I want to get my workouts around this time here. So about 3 to 4 hours before I go to bed as well. So let's say my workout would be around 8 p.m. Okay. Or we'll say 7:30 p.m. Okay, perfect. So therefore, my last meal will be at around 6:45, we'll say. 6:45. Meal 2. Guys, this is literally what I do when it comes to creating my own plans, and it's how I've been able to lose 13 pounds in less than a month. So simply, because it's all structured, it's all part of my routine, and I work with myself, my habits, my mindset. It's all taken into account here, right? So meal 1 then would be at, let's say 6:45. So I probably go around 5 hours until that meal. From waking up at 7 a.m., I can go for a good 4 to 5 hours as well without eating. So let's say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 1 p.m. will be my first meal. Meal 1 is around 1 p.m. Okay, so now though, where are our danger zones, right? So now this is taking a step farther on the weight loss journey. Where's your danger zones of messing up? I'm marking them down right now. Okay, so it's this from no meals to having a meal, from your first meal to your second meal, and then from your second meal and then from no food past 8 p.m. because in here we're going to be at the gym anyways, so that way we're not likely to snack after that. So it's right here though, after I get home from the gym, right? That I would take that as like, okay, that probably might be a struggle sometimes. So how are we going to work around this? So the first one here, this how do I keep full in the morning from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.? It's through water, work focus, and most importantly, though, coffee, 2 cups. Okay, 1 to 2 cups, typically 1 to 2 cups. I don't want to go over like 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day because then we're getting in too much caffeine. So that would be my game plan there. And then what about after my meal 1? Well, protein, snacks, if needed. And the snacks, of course, are protein. And then more caffeine, and then more water. And these should help me right then and there because I'm going to have a huge meal, right? I'm basically going to take my daily calories. Let's say I'm having around 2,300 calories a day right now during the weekdays. I'm going to split that in basically half. And I'm going to have half for the first meal, half for the second meal. And that way I'm having big, big, high protein meals. It's crazy because I've been doing this and I have no bloating going on whatsoever. And I'm having these huge meals, but it's because it's healthier, better food for me. So once we get that going, then here I would just say, no triggers, keep active, keep busy, and then water, reminders, like reminders of my goals and what I'm doing, right? So that's kind of what I'll do at the nighttime. So that's kind of my bulletproof routine right there. So best thing about this, even if I'm dealing with stress in my life, even if horrible things are happening, right? This routine is life proof. This routine, I can still stay on track. Like if things are going completely hectic in my life and they're all over the place, I still have my routine where I know that I can, if something happens in my life and I lose a lot of things, whatever it may be, I can still wake up at 7. I can still go to bed, sleep at 11 p.m. I can still have my first meal. I can still have my second meal. I can still get all these things done, even though I might be dealing with stress or life events or whatever it may be, right? So this is a very good thing to have here, is that life proof routine. Okay. So just by looking at this, as you can see now, so the calorie intake, so the calories you're going to eat through the day, and I'm not following a meal plan right now. I'm counting my calories. So I just did it once. And I eat very similar foods, and I buy all my groceries basically on Sundays. So that way throughout the whole week, it's already in my fridge. So when I wake up, have my water, have my coffee, I get to work, and I have my first meal at 1 p.m. So I'll take my break. I'll cook up that meal. It takes about 35, 40 minutes or so. And then I'll have the snacks if I need to, or I'll have more caffeine during the day. My meal 2 is at 6:45 when I'm ending my work day. I'm done for the day, having my second meal. And then after that, it's going to fuel me. And then I'm going to go to the gym. All right. And after the gym, I'm going to come home and then I'm going to relax, keep triggers away, keep busy, remind myself about my goals, read, whatever it may be. Just enjoy your day. This is my work day, by the way. Yours is going to look completely different. This is what mine typically would look like. And then sleep around 11:30 p.m. or so. Okay. How can we tell if this is aligned with our goals? Well, number one, the calorie intake is aligned with the goal, right? The strategy is sustainable because I don't mind fasting and these eating times work for me. Even if I'm stressed out, I'm going to be kept full. I'm busy. I'm going to the gym. Perfect. I'm working out consistently. I'm working out the right way, strength training. So that's going to help me build the strength, maintain my muscle mass. I'm having very high protein meals. 30% of my total macros is my protein. So therefore, it's going to help me keep my muscle mass on as well. Perfect. Everything's aligned and I can stay consistent with this so it becomes a habit. So I don't need the discipline to keep, staying on track as best as possible. All right. So that's kind of how I would set up there. Now, other little things I can share with you when it comes to expectations and stuff. Number one, commit. Go all in on yourself. We're always so worried about like what if and the cost of doing this and what it's all going to entail. But always think of like, what is this going to do for you? How is this going to set your future? This is everything. Our health is everything. And we need to start living for our future selves rather than our present selves and those temporary satisfactions. Because usually, if we do that, we're taking away from our future self, right? So live for our future self. The expectations, expect to get a plateau around your first 15 or so pounds down. You'll probably hit a plateau. Expect your last 5 to 15 pounds to be the most stubborn, where you might have to add in more movement, get the stress under control a little bit better, and cutting back more calories. And give yourself every 2 to 3 weeks. If you're not losing weight, give yourself about 2 weeks before making any kind of adjustments. Adjustments can be cutting your calories back more, adding in more movement, better routine, more protein, little things like that there. Only cut your calories by like 150 to 200 if you do cut them back. And yeah, little things like that. So this is exactly what I'm going to do and keep following this until I stop losing weight. I want to lose about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week. And if I'm not losing weight, I will just cut back more calories slowly as we go and just keep consistent with this. And then automatically it's going to help me get to my goal. Okay. And then once I get to the goal, I can easily sustain this routine as well. And I'll have the habits, everything in place. I'll know exactly what to do. So it's part of my lifestyle, what I am and who I am and what I do. And then my rules is I only have cheat meals on the weekends. And if I do have the cheat meals, I make sure they're aligned by calories. And my other rules is I have a high protein every single meal. I sleep at a specific time. I wake up at a specific time. And I go to the gym at a specific time. And I do it every day. And those are my rules in place. All right. That's the training for today, y'all. If you guys like this training, if this helped you on your weight loss journey, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want my coaching, where I can help you build your own personal routine, strategy, help get you to your goal, and make this a permanent transformation once and for all, where you're the boss of your own body, so you never have to worry about this yo-yo cycle, the low confidence, the health issues ever again, reach me on my Instagram at coach.hayward and message me coach for details. And I'll see you guys later. Keep moving forward because this is all worth it.